Hello and welcome. It's The Chat. I am Manny. My guest on the program by no means had a humble beginning. He was born with a silver spoon.
Adeniyi Ademola is a lawyer by training, a legal consultant, and a former judge of the Federal High Court in Abuja. He was born in Essex in the United Kingdom, an indigene of Ogun State and the grandson of Adetokunbo Ademola, the first Chief Justice of Nigeria and first Nigerian head of judiciary. Adeniyi received his first school leaving certificate from Mary Hill Convent School, Ibadan, and obtained his secondary school leaving certificate from Federal Government College, Ibadan. He earned all his law degrees in the United Kingdom and upon return to Nigeria, attended law school where he was called to bar in 1981. Adeniyi's law practice and career began in 1981 under the tutelage of Chief Frederick Rotimi Williams, Nigeria's first senior advocate. He served with other law firms in Lagos until he established his own law firm, Ademola & Co., in 1990. He is a two-time member of the Lagos State Advisory Council on Prerogative of Mercy. He was appointed as Judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja, by President Olusegun Obasanjo in 2003 and sworn into office in 2004. During his time, he served as presiding judge over 6 states of the Federation. After serving for 8 years, he was posted as judge to the Federal High Court, Abuja, where he voluntarily retired in 2017. Adeniyi still provides legal and arbitrative consultancy services with Kando attorneys in Lagos, Nigeria. He is married to Olabowale Ademola, former head of service of Lagos State, and they are blessed with children.
Welcome to the program. I said you were born with a silver spoon. Do you agree with me?
Not really.
Why not? First of all, your father, okay, let's even start with your grandfather.
Yes.
He was the first Chief Justice of the Federation.
Correct, yes.
And your father continued in that line.
That's correct.
And then you also carried on. Have you ever seen any spoon other than a silver spoon? Apart from, growing up.
Well, mixture of, I've seen a wooden one before.
Why did you decide to go into law?
I liked law. I liked law. I loved arguing in St. Gregory's College, also at Ibadan, literary and debating societies. So I think that spurred me on.
So you went abroad and studied law,
Yes.
and came back here also and went to the law school. Am I correct?
That's correct.
Yes. So when did you start practice?
I was called in 1981.
Wow.
So we're in 2020 now.
Right.
So that is quite. My 30. This will be my 39th year
That could
from
have
court
been
to the bar.
if you were, a child, a grown-up child, almost a grandfather.
Oh yes.
Yes. So how is life with you, in your retirement? Is it a lot different from going to work and coming back?
Oh, it is big difference, and I thank God. I have retired because you have peace of mind. I must say, you no longer think of cases. Jack versus John, 2 Nigerian weekly law reports, things like that, or have to write some judgment by tomorrow morning. Far from it.
This question of writing judgments,
Yes.
is it not on for too long with the judiciary?
It has been. It's too long. Other clients have moved on, but we start and we stop. In the Federal High Court, they did start initially, just as they have in Lagos High Courts and one or two other jurisdictions. But by and large, it hasn't gone fully, even up to the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal.
So what do you think needs to be done to
There has
change
to be
that?
more.
Because it's part of what people claim is responsible for delayed cases, isn't it?
That is correct. You see, there has to be full independence of the judiciary. That is the crux of the matter. It's not yet fully independent.
I know you have presided over several high-profile cases, such as the one the federal government had against the Senate President, and Ike Ikweremadu, the deputy then.
Yes.
And then there was also the sacking of the acting governor of Adamawa State.
Okay.
You remember his name, don't you?
Fintiri.
Yes. And so those moments, if you were to reflect on them, which has been the most difficult for you?
I didn't. I took it as my course of duty. But surprisingly, the ones I found most trying were the cases involving terrorism. I was the first counter-terrorism judge for the country under the new terrorism laws we had. So having to deal with a lot of terrorism cases, it was quite an experience for me. If you remember, we had a lot of terrorism cases over the years, and it was quite a challenging thing because you needed not only security for yourself, but also for your personnel, family, your paralegal team, etc. When I came to Abuja, I had to deal with Kabiru Sokoto's case, which I think a lot of people still remember, and the ones who also bombed This Day newspapers. It's quite a few of cases like that. I did quite a bit of that here when I was in Abuja. Also in Kano, I did a lot of that too.
So which one would you put your finger at?
The
most difficult for you too?
The most difficult probably was 2000 and the presidential elections. There was a case involving the presidency, involving the president. I had about 42 cases. That was in 2015. And having to sit down on all those cases and handling them, giving judgments before the elections, it was quite a tough one. There was one in particular, I think, of the cases that they wanted an injunction to stop the conduct of the elections, the last elections, that is the 2015 one. And that was quite demanding, a lot of pressure here and there. A few days to go to the presidential election, and that is the case in which was Jonathan versus Buhari. And it was quite trying, but I thank God that I was able to go through, to handle the matter to the best of my ability at that time. And I just had to ask them that let the elections go on. After the elections, you can come back and we listen to the merits otherwise of the case. To stop the whole presidential election, few days to it, I think it was a bit too much.
At this stage,
Yes.
it seemed you were all stainless career, but a little scratch or a little stain, took place along the line, which required some, people from the DSS visiting your home when you didn't invite them.
Yes.
Are you going to recall that day, and tell us, you upstairs or downstairs when it was happening?
Well, let me put it this way. Like you rightly said, some of we judges, including myself, were visited by them. When you say visit, or people, there's a difference between somebody visiting you.
Would you like the word raided?
Well, that seems to be the word most people use, because that's what most people use.
They came without your invitation.
Exactly.
And at the unfriendly hours of the morning.
Yes, very, very. And they were there around, were there for a better part of it, from about 8, 9. I I didn't hear about them until around 11 or so. I was fast asleep.
Wow, they must have been, like coming like professional thieves.
Well, if you say so, but I was upstairs in my room. So I didn't know what was even going on downstairs for a few hours until I was alerted by media and other people that this is what is going on around the country. But I'm happy that God kept me alive, because anything could have happened. And know who would be there to say the story.
Well, after all said and done, this case went away, right?
Yes.
A lot of people said you were sacked. And then you say you resigned.
Yes.
What was the case?
Voluntary retirement under the Constitution. Once you're over 60, for judges, and some judges, you can say you are no longer want to continue. You don't need to wait until 65. So at the material time, I was 64 plus. So I just said, look, I think I've had enough of this stuff.
If you did not go through this, did you think it was time to go?
Well, I would have to go. I've gone in about 3 months after that.
You would have retired?
Yes. So because so
you couldn't have stayed on much longer.
I couldn't, because it's a mandatory age for high court judges.
Did you enjoy the career?
Oh, it was nice.
What was the high point of it?
I think was coming to Abuja and handling a lot of very, very sensitive cases, political and criminal. Especially, it was a challenge for me. I thought it was a challenge because some people may have decided that they don't want to do some of those cases for personal reasons. And I was of the conviction of the parentage, of the integrity, that look, if you are given a case to do it to the best of your ability. And you pray to God to assist you in coming to a decision which involves the lives of millions of people in the country.
They say, in the three arms of government, right?
Yes.
Some members of the executive are overpaid, the legislative, arm of government, the senators, they're overpaid.
Yes.
But nobody seems to complain about the judiciary. Do you think that the judiciary is well paid and that there shouldn't be any room for corruption?
The judiciary is underpaid. All the judges, very, very much so. If you look at it on a comparative basis, Ghana, UK, America, for the work the judges do, they are underpaid. In fact, that is why a lot of people don't want to come to the bench.
Does that justify corruption?
Well, it can't justify corruption. But at the same time, when issue of corruption is a matter to be proved, you hear a lot of people say, oh, they are corrupt, this and that.
Do you think that there's corruption in the judiciary?
Well, when you say judiciary...
now that you're out of it.
Out of it, yes. Well, in any place, there must be a few bad eggs. Make no mistake about it. There must be a few.
But I couldn't think of that in the days of Chief Justice Adeniyi Ademola. Nobody in Nigeria dared mention that in his days.
Yes.
Why is it different?
Well, Nigeria has gone through a serious political voyage, and as you yourself know, a lot of things have happened that has actually affected the Nigerian society. Values are no longer any values. Aspirations are no longer what people vie to do. People feel that in a society, we are so materialistic in this country. So values have gone, morality has been thrown through the door. So that makes a marked difference. The country can't compare to those days.
I have a book from which you can pick just one question.
I see.
And read out the question.
Oh, I wish myself the best of luck.
Okay. Is it a funny question?
It's an interesting question because I've answered it already.
Oh, you have?
Oh, yes, in this interview.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So, well, read it out. Let's hear it.
It says,
there may well be some dimension to
what
it,
was the most difficult case you ever handled?
Oh, okay.
I believe I did that.
Oh, you have? Yes, indeed.
So,
but what are the 5 characteristics, so to speak, that define you as a person?
Well, I as a person, so 5 things. I'm an active person. I am quite, charitable. I try to keep a good character, family character and image. And I try to say the truth, no matter the circumstances.
He always set you free.
Yes, it's very important. So those are the 5 things I try to achieve.
Apparently, they're not enough. They're not 5. Those are 3 points.
I mentioned integrity, honesty, being charitable.
Never mind.
Steadfast.
I give you 4 over 5.
Faith. Okay.
All right, okay. Fair enough. Okay. Somebody was even thinking and asking me, if you talk to him, would you ask him if he ever had a chance of going through the same profession, would he do that?
Yes, I would. I would.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Very interesting profession.
For a much longer period, wouldn't it?
Probably, I think this is a fair age at 65. It's about the age one should actually leave this type of job as a judicial officer.
How's your relationship with your wife?
Oh, very fine. Very fine. Very fine.
So, if she prepared, an oversalted meal for you, how would you address it?
She wouldn't, because she...
Oh, she knows she wouldn't. She would never make that mistake.
She won't make that mistake.
If she does, what would you do?
Well, I wouldn't eat it. Simple as that. Yeah, I wouldn't leave.
Well, you're not going to scold her.
Oh, no, but she knows the type of food.
How long have you been together?
It's 1983.
Right.
We got married 17th of September, 1983.
Oh, really? On that day, you
87.
vowed
Yes.
to love her forever.
Yes.
Do you do that?
I do.
Oh, well, that's good. Do you have grandchildren? How many grandchildren do you have?
I have 2 grandchildren.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
How many children?
I have 4.
You're a successful man.
I thank God. We give God the glory.
Would you have gone into politics?
Oh, yes. I was doing a bit of that when I was a lawyer.
Okay.
And when I was a lawyer, I was the legal advisor for the National Republican Convention, the NRC in Lagos State. Apart from that, I was secretary of the Nigerian Bar Association Lagos branch. I was a member of the National Executive until I went to the bench. Secretary of 1 or 2 social clubs in Nigeria. So I've always been involved in some politicking, professionally or otherwise.
Okay, you are presently the president of the St. Gregory's College Old Boys Association.
Yes.
What are you doing differently?
Well, as the president, I was elected a year ago plus. I took over from Dr. John Abebe, Emeritus. What I do presently, or what the executive is doing presently, is that we are developing the school internally. When I say internally, if you noticed in the last few years, St. Gregory's College, externally, if you look at the school, after the return to the missionaries, the school, the aesthetics, external thing of St. Gregory's College has been really modernized, and it is a thing to be looked up to. Now, in my own administration, there's more emphasis on the college internally, the students, the teachers, the quality of...
What do you want to do for them?
For the
students or the teachers?
For the teachers, we
earn
more salaries, better accommodation. The students also scholarships, some who are indigent, finance them, improve their whereabouts. Of course, we have the dormitories, we have the classrooms, but we can always add more to that.
What would you like to take along? 5 important things that you'd like to take along with you.
My wife.
No, you're not allowed to.
I'm not allowed to.
No,
you didn't specify.
Just yourself.
Just myself.
Yeah.
What was it? Just myself.
And 5 important things you take along to keep yourself there for 10 days.
Okay.
It's just an endurance test.
The Bible.
Yeah.
My phone.
Yeah.
My rosary.
Okay.
A book. Yes, a book, a novel.
Aren't you tired of reading books?
No, nothing to do with law. Something totally different.
What would that be?
Politics.
Politics?
Yes.
Apart from playing golf, is it? Do you play golf? What other hobbies do you?
I play golf.
Yeah.
Of course, I watch TV, especially your station.
Oh, yeah?
I'm an ardent follower of Manchester United and Nigeria.
Well done.
I play table tennis and do occasional reading, but nothing to do with law. And of course, I go to church, try to get involved in what is done, in help people, charities, societies, etc. So that's what I do now. So that keeps a lot of my time, apart obviously from my grandchildren who occupy my
time. And then,
time.
of course, your grandchildren occupy your time.
Oh yes, we see daily.
Oh really? That's
Yes.
good. That's something you preoccupy yourself
Yes.
with. Okay, and I was going to ask you, if you were not in the midst of your friends, like I saw you the other time, you know, what is the most important thing that engages your time as an individual now that you're retired?
All right, that's,
you know?
Yes. Well, now, since apart from what I've mentioned before, I still run a consultancy. I'm a chartered arbitrator. I do a lot of consultancy to give opinions. I do a lot of arbitration, give advice. That occupies my time because I still have an office set up. I had it before I went to the bench, so I left it, handed it over to my...
You must have met a lot of people in your profession, in life.
Oh, yes, quite a lot.
Is there anyone you have not met and you wish to?
I think that I wish to.
Yeah.
I've met a lot. I wish to meet more people. The more the merrier. I still want to meet less fortunate people, less privileged.
If there's one person that you love to meet, one person.
One person.
Yes.
That's, I would love, I would want to meet the Pope.
The Pope?
Yes.
Well, I see you're Christian, aren't you?
I'm Catholic, yes.
Yeah, Catholic.
Yes.
Why would you want to meet the Pope?
Just
because he's
he also,
the highest person in the
he also, we share the same name. My first name is Francis.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. I just popped in at the last moment. Justice Francis Adeniyi Ademola, it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
I've enjoyed the company, and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Imani.
All the best.
Of Greg's.
Of Greg's. It's been The Chat. I am Manny. See you next time. The Chat is produced by Channels Television. You can watch it again online. Just visit our social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Facebook.